obtain the lab reports before it's ever sent to the DA's office.
Yes.
So that's the purpose of the record keeping seal.
Okay. All right, so we'll go off the record to the court reporter so they can look through that. And so if you all will step back and review that, and I'll take up Mr. Leal's case. All right, Aiden Falonee. And where's your client? Are there any applications in any of this?
Yes. For the first.
All right, court is calling 2026 CR 0000515 State versus Aiden Falonee. Can I have parties announced?
Rafael Leal for Mr. Falcone.
And are you Mr. Falonee? Counsel, in that case, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Falonee, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? I don't have a copy of the indictment, but did you review the indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yeah.
Right, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? All right, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4 to 400 grams. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fines. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea, it gives you more than you bargained for. The fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he is and he was.
Mr. Falonee, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's $1,000 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. This is to run concurrent with 2026 CR 003426. It's the court's understanding you've applied for deferred adjudication in community supervision.
Yes, Your
So what does he prefer? Deferred?
Honor. No, I mean deferred, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Judge, I believe that, my apologies, that was probably a typo. I
Okay.
believe that it was gonna be a probation offer, but we are going with a offer for adjudication.
Okay. All right, then, did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be 100 hours of community service restitution. No contact with Idrick, AYDRICK, Compeon, COMPEON, the DOEP course, MRT, and prohibited possession of firearms and ammunition.
If I can interrupt, this news company on with an A, PEA.
Oh, okay.
It's my apologies, Judge.
You all need to start printing.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's COMPEAN.
That's correct, Judge.
All right. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
The other say exhibit number one, including all exhibits.
No objection.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, there was another case. before
We're
you.
gonna do this one first.
My client was, it's only barely 18 and a half years, and he was around 17 when this happened. My client has suffered not only on the charges of this case, but also he was shot by, and he's suffering from an arm condition that he cannot operate his arm. There is a case pending against the alleged shooter in the future, but I guess what I'm trying to say, Judge, is that my client has paid dearly already for his
When were you shot?
August,
I'm sorry,
August
August 9th of what year?
2025.
I mean, this happened in July. So what are you doing with your life? You need to speak up.
Switch it around.
All right, just 1 second. Everyone needs to whisper, and I'm sorry, you need to speak up.
Just going the right path. I got a second chance at life. I got shot in the face.
Mhm. So how old are you?
I'm 18.
Are you in school?
Just
Where? What do you do?
pursue education.
I'm sorry, what?
Pursue education. I'm about to get my GED, and I work with my dad basically full time.
Okay, do you have any children?
So much.
You're not ready. All right, this is what the court is going to do. 3 years deferred adjudication. Regular UAs. If you're drug tested today, what the results will be? All right, there's to be regular UAs, $1,000 fine probated. This run concurrent with 2026 CR 003426. There's to be no possession of firearms or ammunition. There's going to be a 100 hours community service restitution. You're to obtain your GED. Once you've attained your GED, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's going to be field visits one time per month for 6 months. I'm sorry, one time per month until further notice. There's to be proof of employment within 60 days or SSI within 60 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow TAP recommendations. There's to be no contact with Idric Compion. Probation, is there anything else with regards to that case? All right, did you review the document in that case called Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, who's the prosecutor on the family violence case? Okay, thank you.
What started as a felony drug charge against a teenager became a courtroom moment that was equal parts legal process and second chance. Aiden Falonee, just 18 years old at the time of sentencing, barely 17 when the offense occurred, stood before the court facing a second-degree felony charge of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, between 4 and 400 grams. A charge that carries a range of 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 in fines. But this case didn't end with handcuffs. It ended with a handshake and a set of conditions designed to give a young man every reason to do better. The court granted deferred adjudication, 3 years of community supervision. No finding of guilt entered. In its place, regular drug testing, 100 hours of community service, a no-contact order, proof of employment within 60 days, monthly field visits, and one condition that stood out above the rest: obtain your GED. And when you do those community service hours, considered satisfied. That's not a judge washing his hands of a case. That's a judge investing in an outcome. What made this hearing hit different was the moment Aiden spoke. Shot at 17, living with a permanent arm injury, and still standing in that courtroom saying he's on the right path, pursuing his education, calling it a second chance at life. The judge heard that and responded in kind. The law gave this young man a window. What he does with it is entirely up to him. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns. Because justice never gets old.